we are back. We are back. We are the Critics Collective. I'm Legacy Lingo. I have the Dad Panther with me, and we got a special guest and an old friend, the not so super fan. Manny, how you doing today, sir?
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
All right, all right.
Glad to be
Uh,
back.
it is good to have all of us back. If you guys aren't familiar, we've been doing this for a long time. We started back together in the movie Lingo days, which you can see some of that content on our page. And it's good to be back to discuss this review. And we want to appreciate all you guys for joining this review of Captain America Brave New World. Before we get into that, I do want to thank you guys that have been rocking with us. We were on the road to 500. We have just recently cleared 600. Within 30 plus days, we got well over 400 subscribers. So we appreciate you guys that have been rocking with us. If you are new, we ask you guys please to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, click the alert button, and join the collective community. Help us on that road to 1,000. All right. So as I mentioned, this is the Captain America Brave New World spoiler-free review. We're gonna make it spoiler-free for you guys. Let you know how we felt about it. See if you guys agree or disagree. Make sure you jump in and out of the comments. If this motivates you to go see it, let us know. Let us know. All right. So the synopsis for Captain America: Brave New World, this new addition to the MCU, has it. IMDb has it as Sam Wilson, the new Captain America, finds himself in the middle of an international incident and must discover the motive behind a nefarious global plan. All right, that's not bad. You know, shot in the dark with IMDb.
As it always is.
Yeah. All right. So, Dad Panther, why don't we start with you? Why don't you give me your initial impression? How'd you feel about this when you found out it was coming out?
Man, it's a bag of mixed feelings because the TV show was lukewarm. It took too long to kind of get stuff going. They weren't going to spend some money on this, and I'm like, this is going to get reviewed negatively just for the fuck of it. And I didn't see the trailer. So I was right here low. Just
yeah, that was your initial impression. You was like, all right, let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Back to the theater we go.
All right. How about you, Manny?
All right. So when I saw the trailer, it felt like Disney wasn't really putting nothing behind this movie. Like, and I heard about the reshoots and all, and a scene was taken out, like with the Serpent Society, Seth Rollins not being in there. I'm a big wrestling fan. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
So
you was nervous going into it.
I was nervous going into it. I was worried, and I even looked at the director, the writers, and like their film history. I was like, man, they haven't really done anything. It was mostly B movies and short films. So I was like, because Disney usually hits the ball at the park when it comes to like new directors. But I was worried about certain films these guys made. I was like,
Well, I have to agree. I was excited that we finally got to this point. But I was definitely not confident going in. I was a little uneasy. It was more for me. I was nervous, but my initial response was like I was just like hopeful. I was scared coming in. Like I hope this delivers. I hope this delivers. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our highs and lows and review it. Dad Panther, you want to start, sir?
Yeah, why not? I'm looking at my notes here. If I start at the bottom and I say, hey, look, let's go with my lows, the end credit. I'm not gonna spoil anything. There is no mid credit. There is an end credit like Marvel does, but it is I would just leave. Don't stay. Just leave. There's nothing for you. Mr. Bradley, that whole situation I felt was stereotypical. And if you would have just, I don't know, made a phone call, you didn't have to go through that. I get for the idea, again, without spoiling anything, I get what you're doing. You're putting that person away so it doesn't change the plot, because it would make later on very interesting. They played it too safe. You already have a movie that is messing with political stuff. And when you think about this, the fourth Captain America movie, you had Winter Soldier, you had the first Avengers, and then you had Civil War, each one triggering on something somewhat political. I felt like you played it too safe. You're already going to have people say something, just dive all in. And then the ending. I thought you had a strong showing at the beginning, and then your ending necessarily didn't stick the landing, though there were elements there was just a little bit off. The pros, though, there were a lot of pros in my opinion. I love the music. Laura was the one who did the score. She's just hot off of American Fiction, the movie in 2023. So she did the music for this one. You had Kendrick Lamar as the closing song in there, and it felt very Kendrick-like on certain points, even after the Super Bowl. The tone was good. I thought the action was good with a nice blend of laugh out loud. Apparently, Miami is the punchline in a lot of this. Dale 305. I don't know what we're doing here, but it is what it is. I thought the acting was good. Again, this is a superhero Marvel movie. I thought the acting was good. It wasn't the worst Marvel movie they've done, and it wasn't the best. And that meant something to me. And that's the pros and the cons.
Okay. All right. So, Manny, the not so super fan. Let me have it, man. Your highs and lows.
I agree with a few point Ron said as far as the music. But again, they could have went harder on this film as far as the political aspect of it, because a lot of the Bradley thing, they already did that in the TV show. Basically, him and being in prison and all that. They didn't need to bring him back and do that again. They could have, for me personally, they could have focused on that duality of Ross and the whole aspect of Sam. Should he or should he not use a super serum? But it felt stuff we're missing, you know. It felt like stuff we're missing from the film. But it didn't really feel like a Sam Wilson movie to me. Coming to like the movie, I enjoyed it, but it didn't feel like a focusing on Sam Wilson, like taking like having conflict with that mental of him being Captain America. I know they were trying to kind of do a whole civil Winter Soldier situation, but it didn't hit the ball with that. And again with the end credit, Marvel usually with the end credit you get something like that's going to lead to somebody who reads the comic is gonna know. All right, this is where they're gonna go. But any like the average crowd that goes like, what the fuck, what the hell they talking about? You know, now at least show something, and it felt like there were a lot of things from previous movie that were just basically closing off. If they didn't talk about if they left off in the movie and some scene happened, they just decided that let's bring that back and close that and make it more relevant towards Marvel. Because certain scenes from the Hulk, Eternals, they brought those back. It's like, okay, it should have been more of a spy thriller, Captain America government situation. And Marvel tends to do these things a lot with these like heroes where they don't need to have a grand like fight scene where it's like a end of the world type of situation. Which even though this wasn't the type of it, I don't think it was necessary to have the whole Hulk and versus Captain America. They could have just focused on like a whole Sam Wilson versus the Serpent Society. That I think that would have been work.
All right. So that's funny. That's funny you say that. That's funny you say that. But we're gonna on another episode. We're gonna have a deep spoiler.
Yeah, I want to go deep, but it's like
yeah. Because you saying some stuff, I'm like, yeah. I want to tap in on that. But we just here to give y'all the surface level spoiler free review. So I'm gonna roll into my highs and lows also, and then hopefully we'll be able to reconvene to fully have that discussion. For me, the highs, the pacing I actually thought was good with this story. I felt like every 10 minutes they tried to throw some level of excitement. There was never a moment where there was just a whole lot of story, and you kind of forget what type of movie you're in. I felt like the pacing was good. I mean, some of it felt a little forced, but I felt it was necessary. I felt this movie needed that kind of a pace, and of course, when we have that deeper discussion, I can go into it. But especially with I can't say this without spoiling with Giancarlo Esposito as Sidewinder. I felt like again that was not a really strong contribution, but adding him the way they did allowed us to keep. There was always something going on. You had your action, your opening sequence, and then you had all these things. And basically, every 10 minutes you were getting your action. It was keeping the pace and going. And and it made it to the point where I was scared to go to the bathroom because I was like, well, I think if I leave, I might come back in the middle of something, and I can't trust that my fiance is going to be able to tell me what happened because she's not as immersed in this universe. So I will be having all these questions, and she's going to be like, well, that guy, that guy did this, and then that guy. I was like, who was it? Was it someone who did this? So I just like, you know what? I'm just going to hang in there. So, and I'm glad I did, because every time I thought about it, something else popped off. So the pacing was good. Pacing was good. I actually love the full inclusion of the MCU from the 2008 Hulk to the Eternals, bringing that all back in. There's a lot of content that's out there that people kind of people like us pay attention to, that we wonder, like, are they ever going to really fully bring it back in, or are they just, because it may not have hit the way they wanted, are just going to hope that we forget about it? And so I really love that, the way that they fully brought that in. I thought it was great, and I actually liked that they weren't scared to keep Isaiah Bradley character involved in the story. When they did it in the series, I thought it was just kind of a nod, and that was going to be the end of it. I actually liked that they weren't scared to include him, even though, yes, like you said, man, they could have definitely gone a different route and gave us a different story that probably would have hit harder or would have been stronger, but. I was worried that they were gonna, because people don't like to acknowledge that particular character. All these comic book fans act like that character doesn't exist, or act like we're trying to force some type of narrative or dialogue, or whatever. I'm glad they weren't scared to keep him engaged and make him important to Sam Wilson character in the story. So I was really pleased about that. Another high for me is that I'm glad that Bucky didn't try to share the stage like they did on the TV series. I'm glad he showed up for a second, but I'm glad that he wasn't fully. I'm glad he didn't step up into the action, because we all know that eventually Bucky's going to take the mantle. But it would have bothered me if Bucky was there every step of the way, not fully letting Sam Wilson be Captain America for a moment. So I like that we got Sam Wilson as Captain America, and we got Falcon without Bucky sharing the stage. Like, Bucky, your turn is coming. Your turn is coming. Let's let Sam Wilson have this. So that was all good for me. I was enjoying it. Lows for me definitely is the post-credit scene. I will say that it was very open and vague, but I kind of gave him an excuse on that one, that they're still trying to figure out where it's going. So they didn't want to, put something in there that was maybe too hard, too solid, with all this shifting and things, and which movie's coming first, because the Fantastic Four wasn't even in this when they first started filming. It wasn't even supposed to come out as soon as it is. But now you got all this stuff that they're throwing out sooner than they wanted, so they can try and get everybody back excited. So I figured that it made sense that it was kind of vague and not so like they're normal, where exactly where it's going, exactly what's coming. And if you're a big fan, you're like, oh, here we go. They kind of left it a little vague. I mean, I think I pretty much know where they're going, but I'm making excuses. I don't know for sure, but that's the excuse I made after, like, okay, they kind of just keep it simple, but it's not really worth hanging around for. So that bothered me. There was not enough shield play for me. I felt like that was a missed opportunity. The only time they really focused on the shield was when he stomped on it. They love doing that one. Oh, all right. I wanted to see that thing bouncing off of any and everybody, doing all kinds of stuff. I wanted to really see that shield play, and that, in my opinion, they did not do enough of it. And I was a little disappointed. I'm sorry. That was just me.
You wanted more cowbell.
I did. I want exactly. And then also the very last battle, I felt like it was definitely somebody. They wrote themselves into a corner by introducing the Red Hulk against a Captain America that one does not have super serum, and then two, the technology that he had, it can only do so much against that character, against the Red Hulk. So they kind of wrote themselves in the corner. Exactly what helped them get to a resolution didn't work 5 minutes before. So what was the difference now?
Power of love.
That same exact attempt was made at the beginning.
There was more flowers there. I mean, everything was at peace.
So I was like, yeah, why is it working now? It didn't work 5 minutes ago. But okay, there I go. Spoiling. I know everybody's gonna shit on me in the comments. It's hard. Yeah. Okay. I will stop.
All I said was trees.
Yeah. All right. So
a lot of editing is gonna happen on this one.
I might leave that out there just to see how people respond to that. So I'm not gonna say much more because I can already see that I'm gonna slip into the spoiler territory. So let's go ahead and do let's get the rating going. And let me go ahead and let everybody know how the rating system is. We give our accolades from 0 to 5 in the Critics Collect fashion. 5 being excellent, a must watch, highly recommended for all viewers. 4 accolades, good, worth watching, but has notable flaws. 3 accolades, average, some enjoyable moments, but lack significant impact. 2 accolades, below average, some redeeming qualities, but generally disappointing. 1 accolade, poor quality, not recommended. Or 0 accolades, horrible, absolute trash. Unfortunately, we haven't had one in 2025. Hopefully we won't get a 0. But we're about to find out. So the not so super fan Manny, our guest, please let me know where you're rating this. How many accolades are you giving it?
3, average.
You gonna give it 3? Average. Yeah. I like it. Ooh, I was scared first.
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna go lower.
It's not bad. It's not great. It's like right.
It's right there.
Pass. Get to go to college or something. Yeah.
All right, Dan Panther, what you got? I don't know what to do with that one, but I will say, giving this a 0 would be ridiculous. I'm gonna give this. Hey, you pay me to be here for the ratings. I'm just saying it. Trying to keep it interesting. I would give this a 4. I'm gonna give this a 4 because yes, there are some flaws in the storyline and things of that nature, but you can go back and check the movie Lingo stuff we've done. We kind of get hyped on the idea of watching characters we read or saw in this Marvel universe. And for this, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think this is the second time that we've gotten a person of color as the lead of a Marvel thing. So it's Black Panther, and you have Captain America, and then you have Captain Marvel for a female. You don't have that diversity that you do in the comic books. And so to see that and see the effort they did when they went with a lower budget, the cut scene is a nod to the fact that Marvel is doing multi-universes for this next phase. And so is there some things they missed? Yes, but I love some of the execution they did with a lower budget, and it got me hyped for what's coming out next. So I'm going to say it's a 4 for this one.
All right. So we got a 3 from Manny. We got a 4 from Ron. All right. So for me, I am actually going to give this a 3. I'm going to give it 3 accolades. It's average. I did love everything like what you were saying, Ron, as far as the the inclusion of Black lead, and I thought the writing was good. I thought everything made sense, especially like I said, the full inclusion of the MCU from the 2008 Hulk, the way they brought certain characters back and the way the story. I felt like everything made sense. Everything was going. But my biggest reason for making an average, even though I enjoyed the pace, I enjoyed the action, I thought it was a good representation of the character. Was how quickly will I go back to watch this again? This is not one of those movies where if somebody says they didn't see it, I'm gonna be like, oh well, hey, I'm gonna get a ticket and go watch it with you. And that's what a 4 better is for me. But now I'm gonna say, yeah, no, you need to watch it. It's good. I liked it. And then it stops there. You heard it. I liked it. It stops. All right.
And then you stop. It's like, you want to go right now and watch it? I gotta go to work. But I thought you ain't got no job,
watch
Tommy.
it again.
Yeah, you would go watch it again?
I would. I would.
I'm not saying I wouldn't, but it's not something I'm gonna jump at the chance to. I'm not gonna if it's on, I'm gonna watch it. You know, when it drops on streaming, I'm definitely gonna let it run. But it's not something I jump at the chance to go see. And maybe I set myself up wanting it to be wanting it to and we do that to ourselves. You know, we get excited about certain content and we have expectations. So, but that's where I'm at with it. But I still think it's a good movie. I hope everybody watched it. And we want you guys to get in the comments. Let us know how you felt about it. Let us know if you haven't watched it, if this pushed you to go watch it. Once you do watch it, come back. Let us know how many accolades you give it. And in the comments, you can spoil. So just go for it. Just go for it. And again, if you guys yeah, just spoil in the comments. Don't listen to that.
No, why listen? Listen. Why would you do that?
Listen, because I want people to have discussions. I want those interactions. Like, let's have it.
I want discussions too, but I don't want to be like, okay, so this is your warning. Don't look at the comments.
Don't look at the comments.
If you want to spoiler free, don't look at the comments. Don't hit that button and don't do it.
You can drop one, but don't look in the comments.
Don't do it.
Spoiler free. Okay.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so but if you guys do like what we have been dropping so far, again, I want you guys to join the collective community. Make sure you hit the like button on this video, hit the subscribe, hit the alerts, and then you can also find the Not So Super Fan. He has a page. You can find him exactly under that name, and make sure you go ahead and look at his content. He's going to be dropping more content as well, and hopefully collaborating with us more often as well. So make sure you guys, yeah, absolutely. It's good to have you back, man. Good to have you back. All right. So again, this is Captain America: Brave New World, available in theaters. Thank you guys for joining us for the episode of the Critics Collective. I'm Legacy Lingo. We got the Dad Panther here, and Manny the Not So Super Fan, and we will see you guys on the next one.